Excellences, Monsieur le Président de la République, Monsieur le Premier ministre, Monsieur le Président de l'Assemblée nationale, Mesdames, Messieurs, je suis très heureux et sincèrement honoré de participer à côté du Président de la République togolaise, Son Excellence Faure Gnassingbe, à l'ouverture de cet événement inédit au Togo, le premier forum économique entre le Togo et l'Union européenne. C'est pour moi un réel plaisir d'avoir l'occasion de m'adresser à un portrait aussi impressionnant des femmes et d'hommes d'affaires européens et africains, en particulier togolaises. L'Union européenne voit en fait en vous un moteur majeur de la croissance, de la création d'emplois et de l'innovation dans nos économies. Et je suis venu ici pour vous dire que l'Union européenne veut et peut soutenir vos activités. Excellency, Mr. President, dear participants, European Union has a long-standing partnership with Africa. It is the biggest investor in Africa, the biggest trading partner, and the biggest donor. We also share universal values as enshrined in the multilateral cooperation framework of the United Nations. Last September, the President of the European Commission, Mr. Jean-Claude Juncker, launched a new Africa-Europe alliance for sustainable investment and jobs. Through this new partnership, the European Union intends to deepen its trade and investment relationship with Africa and support of mutual economic interests. Why has the EU engaged in such a new alliance with Africa? We all know very well that what happens in Africa matters to the European Union and vice versa. Our people, our economies, our destiny are now more than ever deeply interlinked. In a profoundly changing world, we need to strengthen and modernize our partnership and stand together hand in hand to tackle global challenges. In this regard, the European Union firmly believes in the importance of attracting sustainable investments in our partner countries, with a view to boost growth and create sustainable job opportunities. This goal is clearly stated in the European Consensus on Development adopted 2017, which was derived from the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and Sustainable Development Goals. The Alliance will support private investment in key sectors to boost growth and job creation, promote the implementation of business climate reforms, strengthen trade and regional integration, and reinforce education and skills development programs. It has an ambitious target to generate 10 million jobs in Africa in the next 5 years. To achieve these objectives, we need to invest heavily in transport and energy infrastructure, water and sanitation, health and education. The World Economic Forum has estimated that the global investment gap to achieve these goals is $2.5 trillion per year. Traditional sources of aid will not be enough. If we want to get there, we need to mobilize private investment. Excellences, Monsieur le Président, chers participants, in this context, one of the main tools of the European Union to support private investment in Africa is the European External Investment Plan. For the period 2018-2020, we have allocated an initial 4.1 billion euros to that plan, with the expectation that it will leverage more than 44 billion euros of investment. We want to focus on investment in small and medium-sized companies, renewable energy, agribusiness and urban infrastructure, especially in regions where private investment faces a particular high risk. EU funding under the external investment plan is used to de-risk private sector lending into the priority areas I just mentioned. This takes two forms. First, grants which we blend with loans to make investment projects viable. Second, our new guarantee instrument. The guarantee instrument will reduce the risk for private potential losses incurred by investment and absorb potential losses of financiers and investors. The objective is to encourage investment in countries and sectors which are considered more risky. In both cases, blending and guarantees, we work with partner financial institutions, mostly European and multilateral development banks. I take this opportunity to acknowledge their presence at this forum, which will go a long way in making it a successful event. The external investment plan is already delivering. Since its launch, 98 blending operations have been approved, as well as 28 investment programs benefiting from EU budgetary guarantees. With these operations totaling 3.7 billion euros, the EU is expected to leverage 37 billion euros in investment in Africa and the EU neighborhood. In addition, EU support to improving the business climate in Africa is expected to increase up to 350 million euros on average per year for 2018-2020. Based on the early results of what we can call the test phase of the European External Investment Plan, we have the ambition to expand this plan in the future, with a substantial increase in funding and including other regions of the world. Mobilizing investments through de-risking is only one part of the equation. Through the alliance and external investment plan, the EU is also supporting dialogue between governments and private sector, as well as the implementation of reforms to improve the business climate, which is crucial in attracting and increasing investment. In this context, economic partnership agreement that's been concluded at the regional level with 16 countries in West Africa would play a key role in ensuring a stable and predictable environment for EU investors and traders to operate. For a country like Togo, such regional agreement with the EU would support efforts to develop regional integration and increase business transaction, notably via its commercial port of Lomé. Excellences, Monsieur le Président, chers participants, I should now like to turn my attention to the country that kindly welcomes all of us here today, Togo. As you know, Europe is already one of Togo's main trade partners. We believe there is a huge potential to trade more and diversify the nature of our trade. Although Togo is not a big recipient of foreign direct investment in Africa, given its relatively small size, investment inflows from the EU are on the rise. A recent census of activity of European companies based in Togo shows that these enterprises employ around 5,000 jobs, a turnover of over 600 million euros in 2018, and investment of over 50 million euros in 2017. Obviously, we are gathered here this week to make these trade, jobs and investment figures expand much further. I believe that in a few minutes we will all hear about the Plan National de Développement du Togo pour 2018-2022, as well as the impressive progress made in improving the business climate in Togo. The National Development Plan aims to transform the Togolese economy based on a massive contribution from the private sector, in order to foster sustainable and inclusive growth, which will significantly reduce poverty and inequalities. It seeks to boost investment opportunities and draw on comparative advantages in different sectors like energy, agribusiness, logistics and transport, telecommunication and extractive industries. Excellency, Mr. President, on behalf of the leaders of the European Union, I would like to congratulate your vision for an emerging Togo enshrined in this plan, which is fully in line with the new partnership the EU wants to develop with Africa. I would also like to salute your commitment to push for meaningful reforms to improve the business climate in Togo. There are still many challenges ahead in this regard, but Togo's adhesion to the G20 investment compact with Africa last year and its jump of 19 places in the most recent Doing Business rank are no small achievements. It is a clear outcome of this strong commitment to reform. In this area, which was further illustrated with the approval of the new investment code 2 weeks ago. This is why the EU agreed with Togolese authorities at the time was ripe for such a gathering of European and Togolese business in Togo. We have the same vision to support private investment and business climate reforms. The EU and the European investors see many investment opportunities in Togo, and there are specific financing instruments which can support this investment. The launching of the European Chamber of Commerce in Togo, which we are about to witness this morning, is therefore very timely. I would really like to congratulate this initiative, which the EU will be happy to support as one of the crucial elements of this new economic partnership the EU wants to build with Togo. The EU acknowledges that there has also been some important democratic progress through the recent adoption by consensus of institutional reforms and the organization of local elections which had long been waited for. This is appeasing the political situation, which is also a very important aspect for the investors. In addition to the investment projects outlined in the National Development Plan, about 400 projects were submitted by companies based in Togo in the framework of this forum. This shows how the private sector in Togo is pursuing and looking for business partnership with EU companies or financing from international financial institutions to develop further. To the European companies represented here, I would like to congratulate them for having seized this opportunity to better understand the economic situation and investment opportunities in Togo. This forum will allow you to establish crucial contacts to develop business partnership and to obtain potential valuable financing from the financial institutions represented here. To the Togolese authorities and companies, I would like to tell them that on ensemble, the European Union has supported Togo and its strategic development objectives in carrying out several studies and via projects in the energy, transport, sanitation and agribusiness sector in particular, which have opened up many opportunities for private sector. You can count on the European Union to continue on this path at your side and to do even much more in the future to support private investment and improve the business climate in order to increase investor confidence in Togo. That is why we are all gathered here today for this first edition of the Business Forum between Togo and the EU. Excellences, Monsieur le Président, chers participants, je ne saurais terminer sans remercier le travail fantastique effectué par les organisateurs de cet événement et l'accueil légendaire du peuple togolais dont j'ai pu bénéficier déjà bien avant mon arrivée au Togo. J'encourage tous les participants à profiter pleinement de ce premier forum pour en faire un succès retentissant au-delà des frontières du Togo. Nous comptons sur vous pour divulguer des informations sur les opportunités d'investissement au Togo et les efforts remarquables entrepris pour faire de ce pays une terre d'accueil pour investissement privé. Je vous remercie.
Merci à Monsieur